Welcome back, everyone. Today is slightly a different day. Basically, throughout all the time, we've been analyzing different kind of altcoins like Pepe, other coin, Cardano, Binance Coin, and so on. And we haven't done a proper analysis on the Bitcoin, despite our daily technical analysis. But this time, we decided to do some kind of video explanation on the bigger movements of the Bitcoin and what we see that might happen with the coin. So overall, before we take a look on the major chart, we this is a weekly time frame, so you all understand. So basically, this was like 2016 push, then next bull run, and current one. So what's interesting is that with each bullish momentum, so we can't take this first one into consolidation because it was more of testing the grounds and so on. But basically, after forming the second one and currently forming the third one on this time span, of course, we had more of this bullish markets. But still, now after breaking the EMAs, so a start of bull market, we retested the zones. So we broke out here, smaller breakout, small retest, but we can't take this into the similar one like this one here. So overall, we had a bullish moment here. Let me zoom in even so you get better view. So we had a breakout which shifted away way too far from the EMAs as well, but we didn't break the all-time highs at that moment. So once we broke the all-time highs, then we had some kind of correctional movement. Now similar is actually happening here. So we are breaking out, you can see we had some kind of breakout. Now we are shifting away from the EMAs while we also I don't know if I can draw on this one here. Yep. So okay, we broke out from the EMAs, you can see. Sorry, not the EMAs, but from the all-time highs. And now price is also above, not above, but has shifted away from the EMAs. So the logical here would be some kind of retest to get closer to the EMAs and not to the 200 EMA, but to the 100 EMA, because getting anything close to 200 EMA would mean that we might see a shift in the trend and the start of bearish trend. So we need to see a test, not even a test, but a price to move closer to this 100 EMA. And then we would see a further movement to the upper zones, which means that the next bullish cycle. So similar to this one, or even to this one, we had a push, correction. This was a choppy one, of course. You can see pretty decent liquidity movement. But let's take this one here. So we had a push above the all-time highs, shifted away. We had a correction towards the EMAs, almost retesting the all-time high zone, and then another final push to the upper zones. So now let's get away from here, and we are left with this chart. So this is the recent technical analysis chart on the Bitcoin since 2020. And what we see that after we had on a weekly time frame, we broke out from the all-time high, which now is acting as a support zone. And price has been just going to the upper zones, pushing, and now we're seeing some kind of struggles. Even current week opening was, sorry, week opening was 5 days ago, but overall, the candle here. So let me remove this one. You can see sellers are still dominating the zones. Now, ideal movement, and I'm not telling you that it will happen, but most ideal movement would be if we see anything like here, then I don't know how not wise or stupid enough you have to be to not go and start buying here. So it's not a you have to, but this is going to be the golden buying zone for us definitely. So not that low, but more closer to 69, 70k zone. Now, if you would go to the CoinGlass website, you will see that there is a lot of liquidity on those zones here as well. So this is one sweet spot for the Bitcoin to have the correction moment. And from here on, we might see even further movement to the upper zones, which would be The actual aim for us for this bullish cycle is 140k to 150k actually, and not more. So once we reach anywhere these zones here, then for us the bullish market will have to have some kind of like a consolidation moment from there on, a consolidation phase. So major target is close to here, and before going for another like push, we just can't go to here. It would be unlogical, and if we expand from here any further, then we will see just another like possible bigger liquidity movement. Now going not even on a daily time frame, more of like 4 hour time frame. Now this is the chart that most of you have been seeing and watching because we share this chart daily. And what is interesting here is actually this zone here. So as we called it, a psychological resistance for the coin, because it's like 6 digit price mark for the Bitcoin, which we broke, tested, and so on. So basically, only one time we were outside, and this was like this fake out movement where we also formed a new all time high. But ever since, we've been retesting it, and we see that price is still showing some kind of like bigger, how do you call them? Sometimes the English is so hard, guys. So liquidity sweeps, you can see the dominance from the sellers, and it's not only like here, you can see this candle, or here, but you can see overall, if you take the look majorly on the scale, you see that the majority of bigger like candles are red, which means that sellers are still dominating the markets and they still try to push the markets to lower zones. So on the span of until date range and going here, so for the next like couple of months until the summer, most likely. Where's the summer? We can't go into the summers, but overall for the next like couple of months, we most likely will see some kind of moves in between the 100k and between this zone here. So these are the zones that we are going to most likely trade the highs and lows, and we are not going to look for any like new potential all-time highs to form here. So now this is uncovered, let's talk about a possible move that might happen on the Bitcoin like within a couple of days or weeks. So we see this zone here, the dotted line, and let me expand this one here as well. So we see that we have had steep movement to lower zones, correctional retest, and now sellers are heavily dominating the zone. We even caught like smaller short position here as well. So now let me remove these ones as well because these are from the morning technical analysis. There is one liquidity zone that still interests us, is basically this zone here, which is closer to the CME gap here as well, you can see. So unfilled CME gap. So once we see the break of this zone here, our like major movement or like a major target would be to see the price to fall as low as like 80k, which would be then ideal zone for some kind of like rebound or a possible upward movement, and from there on a possible movement to these lower zones. So before we are going to rush to go long, once again, we are not seeing any long positions yet. And as you know, most of our positions are still shorts. And I don't know how to explain this, but feeling more confident in the short positions. And despite having this kind of like bullish momentum and perfect for like bullish or long positions, we still shorted, we still managed to pull off some trades. But yeah, despite that, let's see, wait for this like break of zone here. As soon as we see this is the target zone for us, and after that we are going to aim for this zone here. So this was very quick update on the Bitcoin for now. It is still very volatile. Price is at puncture zone currently, and we are going to the weekends market, which is awful combination. So for a couple of days, just don't trade on the Bitcoin. From the Monday, start looking again for a breakdown here. As soon as you see a possible like 15%, 20% decline might happen on the coin. So, as always, trade safe and don't rush to recover the losses that you might have made with the recent like pumps and dumps on the markets. So, until then, trade safe again and see you in the next video.